Well, I'm coming from the room next door and it looks different there. More ties. Dear Professor Pencil, dear Dr. Maliki, distinguished guests and speakers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very pleased to be asked to speak here at this first Euro Finance Tech Forum in Frankfurt, and I'm absolutely convinced that fintech is of major importance for the future of finance and also for the financial center Frankfurt. The effect of fintech on finance is an impressive proof of how long-standing and well-established structures can be subject to a fundamental change within a very short time. Who would have thought that a few years ago that technological progress will enable us not only to work and communicate from almost anywhere, but also to buy and pay, even fund and invest our money only by using a smartphone that fits into our pocket. So every day, new technologies are changing the way we work, the way we live, and the way we think. And for the financial service industry, a sector that traditionally is rather conservative and less driven by innovation than other sectors, new financial technologies help us to rethink the existing business models. This is due to the fact that finance gets more and more confronted with the shift of a customer's needs and behavior. Nowadays, customers of financial services are putting more and more emphasis on easy access, user-friendliness, independence, and lower costs. According to a study of Bitkom, a large portion of customers will shift in the near future from their traditional house bank to a digital financial service provider. 22% of the German internet users can imagine to operate their banking via financial services of technology companies. Every seventh internet user thinks to apply for a loan via the net. Every ninth user would seek advice about his personal finances from alternative providers. And 7% of the consumers say they would transfer the management of their private assets to an internet service provider. I'm sure that these figures will increase in the near future. And the high margins and profits in financial services are providing a powerful incentive for startups. These companies will develop cost-efficient and more convenient services. And for this reason, fintech startups are springing up like mushrooms all over the world. According to Accenture, over the last year, investment in fintech firms has more than tripled up to $12.2 billion. And McKinsey's recently published its annual review of global banking that shows another picture of the importance of the fintech industry. The review forecasts that traditional banks could lose up to 60% of their retail profits and 40% of their revenue to fintechs within the next decade. So, for a region like Frankfurt Rhein-Main with about 70,000 people working in the traditional banking sector, this sounds like bad news. And if you remember that Bill Gates said that everyone needs banking, but no one needs a bank, this also creates fear. I think that financial technology is the future of finance, and if it will happen anyways, we should do everything that it will happen here. I think that is the answer to the news we are hearing. So the evolution of the fintech sector is accompanied by huge economic shifts, but also new potential, a potential that needs to be leveraged. And it's therefore a logical step for us to concentrate our activities on helping Frankfurt to become one of the major fintech hubs. To reach this aim, the already existing activities are excellent here in Frankfurt. Our problem is we're not talking about that. And therefore, I'm grateful that we have this first conference here. Frankfurt and the Rhine-Main region offer an outstanding foundation for innovation processes and innovation centers. With regard to the geographical proximity and the linkage of IT with financial, the region is absolutely exceptional. On the academic field, the breeding space for innovation, we have internationally renowned universities. Goethe University for e-finance, University of Darmstadt for IT, the Frankfurt School of Management, of Finance and Management, or the European Business School for Business Administration and Finance. These universities are currently building, or did so already, incubators which help students to develop new technologies or services. These technologies and services will be transformed into marketable products. And the new FinTech Unibator at Goethe University is a good example for such activities. This academic expertise meets the huge amount of investment capital and financial strength of banks and investors located at the financial sector of Frankfurt. Next to the supply of capital, the financial sector also represents a large portion of the demand side for innovative fintech products. The announced acquisition of 360T by Deutsche Börse Group, more than 700 million euro, and the additional investment in the payment platform TraxPay in 2014 profiles Frankfurt as an attractive place for fintech transactions. And the insurance broker Clark has just moved from Berlin to Frankfurt. I say that again, they moved from Berlin to Frankfurt after achieving a 7-figure sum with a second round financing. Many young but also award-winning fintechs in Frankfurt are ready for their next steps and can be met at this conference here today. In Darmstadt, we find world champions such as Software AG and CASED, the Center for Advanced Security Research Darmstadt. They are providing an outstanding research landscape for IT security in cooperation with a technical university, with Fraunhofer Institute for Secure Information Technology and the Hochschule Darmstadt. DKIX Frankfurt is the world-leading, it's about infrastructure, it's the world-leading internet exchange with a peak traffic of more than 4.9 terabits per second. So this region in Europe, with a population of 5 million inhabitants, is competitive, innovative, and productive. So what can be done to foster the development of the FinTech Hub Frankfurt? The marketing and coordination of the strengths of our region is one of the important tasks to attract the best brains, not only from Germany, but from all over the world. The even more important point is the development of a founder-friendly ecosystem in which numerous measures are planned and taken up. Therefore, the state of Hessen has become an active partner in the dialogue with all actors at the financial center, banks, stock exchange, founders, associations, and others. Our aim is to learn about the concerns and needs. We want to identify relevant fields of action and appropriate measures in improving Frankfurt's startup ecosystem. So, this first Eurofinance Tech is a step into the right direction. Taking a look at today's agenda, I'm convinced that this conference offers interesting insights into the broad range of issues that are connected with fintech, and in an innovative sector where a strong community is regarded as being one of the most important success factors, this conference brings together the right partners. I encourage you to share ideas and views with the different experts as well as with our co-participants. So I wish the conference every success. Thank you.